Hello.
Are you asking a question? Yes.
Okay. How's working on aldnoah.zero? I didn't finish the first season. I finished the first season, not the second. So please, no spoils.
Okay, no spoilers, no spoilers. Aldnoah.zero was a show that I worked on. I played Inaho, it was really cool. That was a show that was directed by Lex Lang, and I think it was my first big Aniplex project. And it was great. It was a great experience because the cast was really. It became sort of like a family. It was like me, Erica Harlacher, Erica Lindbeck, Zach Aguilar, and it was just a joy to, as a first experience to be a lead in an anime. It was fun. It was very fun. I feel like I should introduce myself first.
Do you want
off.
to do that? Who are you?
I don't. Yeah, maybe people don't know that you could have just saw Q&A and been like, oh, Q&A sounds fun. But I'm Max Mittleman. I play. I'm a voice actor, and I'm from Los Angeles, and you may know me as the One Punch Man, or Leo in Fire Emblem. Caden as well, Forrest as well. A bunch of anime, some original Western animated stuff, a lot of video games, stuff that hasn't come out yet that I can't talk about, but is really, really cool.
No spoilers?
No spoilers. So anyway, that's me. I was a pre-med in college for 4 years before switching to... Yeah. So if you have questions about that, feel free to ask.
My knee hurts a little bit. Can you? No,
not that
kidding.
kind of
Dang.
question. I'm very opinionated when it comes to the college stuff. So you can ask about that and whatever. Anyway, that's me. So
now let's hear about all of you guys.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Let's start with you in the front row. Oh, never mind.
You were pre-med?
I was pre-med.
And then what made you decide to take a leap into the wonders of voice acting?
Because I hated it. I hated pre-med. It was 4 years of doing something that I knew just wasn't right for me. I was a theater minor the whole time. I switched my major 5 times. I was undecided, then it was biocellular something or other, then it was neuroscience, then biology, then kinesiology, then back to biology.
So you're really smart.
Not true.
Oh.
Not true. You know why? Because I didn't stick with any one of those things. So I didn't learn anything. I learned some stuff, but yeah, it was. But then I discovered. So I was taking acting classes, and I discovered voiceover was a potential career. I didn't. Because you never think about that when you're anybody. You just don't think about voiceover being a thing, let alone a career, right? Like when I used to listen to commercials or watch TV or whatever, I always thought that the guy speaking or the girl speaking just worked for the company. It was like the accountant of the company and was like, oh, I'll read that for you. It never occurred to me. And so my brother was actually driving by a casting place in Los Angeles that also happened to teach classes, and he got a card, gave it to me, and he's like, "Hey, Max, you might like this." I was like, "Voiceover? That sounds fun." And I took a class. I had a very skewed perception of what voiceover was. I thought it was like you have to talk like this, and then you can make $1 million. But it wasn't. They proved that to me in the first day. So then after that, though, I loved it, and I stuck with it, and I trained, and I went for it. Now it's my career.
And now you get to come to awesome conventions like Animate Florida.
Yes, that's right. And I get to see awesome people. It's really cool.
And you said this is your first time. Is this your first time in Fort Lauderdale, or have you visited our beautiful beaches?
No, it's my first time in Fort Lauderdale. I was in Tampa a few months ago. But that's all the way on the other side.
Like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Less.
Just
yeah,
4 hours. It's not just a short drive. That's kind of like what my drive is to Los Angeles every day.
Right?
Exaggerated, but it's not a fun drive. Yeah. But it's great here. It's great. I'm loving it.
And not only is it your first time here, this is our first time here at the Fort Lauderdale Convention Center for Animate Miami, or Animate Florida, formerly Animate Miami.
That's right. Yeah.
I
Animate
already
Florida.
messed up. I'm gonna get fired. No, it's okay.
I won't
Just
tell
edit
anybody.
that. No problem.
Yeah. We can edit this out. Is this
Right? We got that? Okay, cool.
Oh, this is live. It's Twitch streaming? Okay.
So like my buddy Jose said before, we do have a microphone. We already had one willing victim. If you guys have any questions for Max, then I urge you to ask them now.
Ask away, and you can ask anything.
Literally
I'm not shy.
anything.
You can ask anything from characters to shows to personal preferences when it comes to food.
Ooh, can we do that?
I just saying.
Okay, is this a food question?
Okay.
Good question.
No, it's not.
Okay.
What's your name?
David.
Hey, David.
Hello, I'm a big fan of your Saitama role in
Thank
One
you.
Punch Man.
Thanks.
And have you found the strongest person to go against?
The strongest person?
Is it Goku?
Oh, that's
Or Luffy,
interesting.
Naruto? Who do you think is the strongest next to Saitama?
Next to Saitama, does it? Okay, so it's a character. It can be any character. Does it have to be anime?
Your call. Just don't pick Superman.
Oh,
Why not put you on as Superman?
that's what I was gonna
Excuse me?
say.
Because the internet goes out of control with Superman.
Okay, all right. So strongest person. Well, I guess I'd have to say Goku, right? Because like as a kid, I Goku was the strongest person I knew, right?
Like your idol?
What's that?
Like your idol?
Yeah, he kind of was my idol. Like for a time, it was I tried to train as hard as Goku, and like this is silly nerdy stuff, but
Wait, what?
that's
We're in
why
the right
we're all
place. Are you
here. I
kidding me?
think.
Nerdy's great.
Yeah, no, I was obsessed. So I guess it has to be Goku. I'm trying to think of anybody else that comes close to the One Punch Man.
Do you have an idea of who you think would be the strongest?
Honestly, you ask me, I think it boils down to if you don't say Goku or Saitama, I think next would go Luffy and then Naruto.
Okay.
He has a list.
Okay.
And
yeah.
Superman is at the bottom.
You came prepared, and Superman
Yes.
is far.
No, Superman is like kind of another subject. DC Marvel is a whole nother topic compared
Gotcha.
to Japan.
Gotcha.
Wrong panel. We're not
Wrong
talking
panel.
about that.
Yeah.
Exactly, that's why.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks, man.
All right, no
I appreciate
Good
it.
question.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
All right. I actually have two questions. The first one is gonna be like when you found out that they were obviously gonna dub One Punch Man. My question is like when you heard that there's gonna be a dub. Did you know about One Punch Man prior to the dub coming out? And were you like I'm gonna kick every single person's butt in this room and take this role from them, or I'm about to one punch?
That's what I
everybody-
think
I'm about to
every
one
time
punch
I
everybody in
audition.
this room.
I'm just like nobody else has a chance.
Right.
Some
no,
good
I don't.
confidence.
That's actually the opposite. I didn't know about One Punch Man. When I got the audition, it was already very popular. One Punch Man was the 7th most popular show on Hulu, more popular than Modern Family on Hulu. So that's insane. But I didn't know about it until I got the audition. When I got it, I think a friend of mine, Ray Chase, who he plays Noctis in the new Final Fantasy coming up. But he said, dude, you gotta watch this show. And I was like, man, because you get a lot of auditions, and sometimes you can get complacent and not do your research, and you should always do your research.
Right.
But I was like, nah, I get it. I get the archetype. And he's like, no, dude, you don't understand. Watch the show. So I watched the first episode, then I watched the second one. Then I watched the third one, and before I knew it, I was finished with the first season. I was like, I gotta book this role. So then, that was a pro and a con, because the pro was I was really invested in the character. The con was I was so invested that I was really nervous every time. So when I went in for the audition, I think I went into the studio. I was really nervous. I walked out. I was like, could have gone better, but okay. Then I got a call back. When I went in for the callback, I was like, oh my God, this could actually happen. And then I walked out going, man, could have done better. And then I got another callback. And with each callback, I got usually I get less nervous because I'm like, okay, they like me or whatever, so it's fine. But with this one, weirdly, I got more and more nervous every time. But then I booked it and I was super happy.
And here we are now.
And here we are.
And you're One Punch Man. Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, and so here falls into my second question because it's kind of on the same line of the first one. Like it's obvious. Saitama is like a really flat kind of guy. Like the only things that either get him excited is a sale at a store or Genos, which I mean, if you look at
Genos gets him excited, is what you're saying?
If you look at
okay, go on. I know this is a family-friendly panel. Go on.
Check out Tumblr, man. So yeah, I was wondering like when you went in to do this casting, like what was your mindset? Like I'm going to be completely bland and flat, or how do you bring energy to a character that kind of has no energy?
It's tough because you can't make him. He's not lazy, and he's somewhat detached, but more than anything, he's bored. And I found that, like, for me, I think that the biggest thing that motivates him is, well, he's looking for a challenge, right? He's looking for that one opponent who can basically make his life exciting again. And but when you're in the booth, it's this fine line of not making him too bored, because then he sounds completely flat. And if you make him sound lazy, he kind of sounds like a jerk. And it's finding that balance. But I had great people in the booth to guide me. One of them was the producer from Viz, Dave. Super cool guy, and he almost held my hand for the first few episodes, and I was so thankful for that, because it's tough. It's tough when you're playing a character like this. At first he might seem like a two-dimensional character, but he's not. He's got a lot going on. So yeah, when it's tough, but you have great people surrounding you. My director, Chris Kaysen, was amazing. Is amazing, and you just have a good team, and that's how you get through it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
answering my question.
Sure.
Okay, I have another question.
Okay.
What is your favorite villain that you one-punched in the series?
Favorite villain that I one-punched in the series. Who here has watched One Punch Man? Raise your hand if you've watched it.
I think that's why we're all here.
Okay. Okay. Well, I don't know. It could have been for Plague from Miraculous Ladybug. I'm not sure.
Wait, what?
Let's see. My favorite character that I've one-punched. Have you seen the series?
I have.
Okay. The first character that comes to mind, honestly, one of my favorite characters is Crablante.
Yeah.
He's honestly one of my favorite characters, because that's like the first episode. That's what made me move on to the next episode and the next and the next, was that first villain where he pulls his eyeballs out of his socket, and it's just Crazy Town, where it's just a waterfall of crab. To me, that was one of the best
His voice
ones.
was unforgettable.
And then my other favorite is actually from the first episode as well, and it's the Titan, the big Titan.
Yeah,
because like
he kills his brother.
Yeah. My favorite line, I think, in the series that makes me laugh every time is when he, he's like, "Brother, there's someone on your shoulder, kill him!" And he smacks his brother, and
On the wrong shoulder,
and it's just this brilliant, like, complete 180 of, like, the realization. It was so funny to me every time.
And he screams, "Brother, no!"
Yeah. It's and then Saitama's face. He's just, it's my favorite.
Yeah, like his voice is unforgettable. Who voices him, by the way?
Which one? The Titan or the?
The crab.
Oh, the crab.
Or the lobster, whatever.
That's
it
a
is.
great question.
IMDb.
No, I'm not sure. I knew who it was, but I've never met him, so it didn't stick with me.
Do you guys record your lines together in one room, or do you guys go to separate rooms?
We don't. Most of the time for anime, actually all the time for anime, you record separately, because since they already have the picture on the screen and you're just trying to match lip flap, it's hard to do it with multiple people. It's much easier if it's focused, because sometimes, basically, when you're matching lip flap, you have to, if it's off a little, the engineer has to move it. He might stretch it a little or shorten it a little. There's rewrites going on. So the more people you add to the room, the more elements you add, the more difficult it becomes for the engineer. And the engineer already does a brilliant job. You got to be really good to engineer some of the ADR anime stuff. So we record separately.
Oh,
yeah, and some of the characters for One Punch Man weren't even from LA. Some of them recorded in Texas, like Chris Sabat recorded the very first character you see in the show.
No wonder why he sounded like Piccolo.
Yeah, it's kind of a throw. It's a little Easter egg.
My first thought was, wait, is that Piccolo's blue cousin or something?
Yeah. So we had a lot of people working on it, and they were just all over the place. Yeah.
Awesome. What's your favorite voice role that you've seen on TV in anime regardless?
In anime?
Yeah, like your favorite voice role from any show.
That's tough, dude. That is really tough. Favorite?
That he's done or that he wants to do?
No, that he's watched.
Just that I've watched.
That you've watched.
Yeah, you watch the screen, you see someone voicing that character. Like, who was your favorite actor voicing the favorite character?
I'm trying to think if there was a character that stood out when I was younger, because I watched a lot of Toonami when it was on back in 2000.
It's still on today.
Yeah. But when I was a kid and it was on right after school, and I got home and I would watch it, it was Dragon Ball Z and I think Tenchi Muyo, and I don't know why that was the second one that came to mind. Full Metal. I don't remember all the shows that were on. Yeah, but there's so many shows. I don't know how to choose one character. Sesshomaru was pretty cool. From Inuyasha, thank you.
That's a good choice.
Yeah. Who do you like? Who's your favorite?
My favorite has to go to. You place in my top 5. You're definitely my number 1. I'll say that.
Wow.
Wow, thank you.
But my second goes to Christopher Sabat, who voices Aldnoah.zero in One Piece.
Nice.
But you're number 1, so
But
that's
I'm
all that
number
matters.
1.
Who cares about the rest?
But great choice. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Great. I loved you in Seven Deadly Sins.
Thank you.
King's awesome. I was surprised with all the stuff going on with Diana and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And how powerful he is, like being a king and all. You know?
Yeah.
And how was working on that? And do you have an idea if you're going to do the special that's coming out?
I honestly, perfectly honest, I don't know, because the actor is usually the last person who finds out about stuff. It goes to first. It's in Japan. If it's an anime, they know everything. They do it. Usually, we don't even hear about it until it comes out, and then the studio might pick it up, but we still don't know about it. We don't know about it until we get the audition, really. But in the case of a season 2 or like a special, we still don't know about it. We wouldn't audition for it, but they don't tell us anything. So I don't know. Your first question, though,
Did you like working on Seven Deadly Sins?
Oh, there was another Chris Kaysen production. It was great. Chris Kaysen has directed me a bunch now. Do you all know Chris Kaysen? He played Mr. Popo in Dragon Ball Z, and he's played a ton of stuff. But Mr. Popo jumps to Full Metal Alchemist. He played who's the guy who's like you guys watch? Who's watched Full Metal Alchemist? Okay, so who's the creepy villain dude who's like really creepy? Starts with an S.
It's on Homunculus, but I don't know.
Sounds like.
What? Yeah. Oh, Greed.
Creed was the main guy, but then he had like some henchmen, a little salamander homunculi guy.
What I'm trying to say is, yes, he played the homunculi. Yeah. Homunculus. That's Chris. Anyway, it was great. That was the first time I worked with Chris, and It was a joy. It was a pleasure. It's always fun. Here's the thing, guys. I don't ever have a bad time. I can't think of one, like, I never go in the booth and go, oh man, I gotta go record voices today. It's always fun for me. So anytime I get to work with a new person, it's a blast. Anytime I'm working with someone I know, it's a blast. I don't know. It's always fun. It's always a good time.
Okay,
Yeah.
then I guess I could rephrase my question as,
Oh, okay.
do you like the story of Seven Deadly Sins? Like, was there anything special that drawn you to it?
Oh, well, I love how King transforms into old King and new King. That was one of my favorite things when I auditioned for the role. I was actually hoping I got King, because I think I auditioned for Meliodas and someone else maybe. But King was the one I wanted because I thought he was the most fun. He's kind of the most, he's got ups and downs, and he's just super fun. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
Do you work for a lot of Animplex stuff? Or, like, how does the company type thing work? Like, you just audition to everything and that's how it works, I guess?
Pretty much. You know, when you work with a company, then they know you and they like you, and they might be more prone to use or since they trust you, they might want to, if they get an audition from you, go, oh, we like this guy, let's listen to him a little longer, or really think about him. They consider you a little more, but you'd never really. When someone says like, oh, you've broken in, man, you've broken into the industry, like, there's no such thing. There's really not, unless you're an A-list celebrity, at least in voiceover. Breaking in, to me, is consistently doing your best work and making a name for yourself in that way, where casting directors and producers and directors get to know you based off the quality and of your work and your work ethic, and not necessarily as an entity where we have to get that Max guy just because he did this other thing. No, for me, it's you always do your best, and that's how you get to work forever and ever. Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's just good advice in general. Always do your best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
okay.
so.
So clearly you're really great with voices. And before you did this whole Purimed thing, did you grow up doing voices? Did you ever come up with your own characters?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
I started. So without knowing what voiceover was, the very first thing that I ever did was I played a lot of Xbox Live, played a lot of Halo. And on Halo, well, back then everybody used to have a headset. And that was the first sort of like, that was when I discovered how you could be anonymous, do anything and be anonymous. So I would pretend to be different people online. I'd pretend to have like an English accent, and literally try to convince the other person on the other end that I was from England. And most of the time it's like kids who are like, whoa, are you actually from England? And I'm like, yeah, in my terrible English accent.
Can we hear it?
I was like, well, yeah, well, back then it was completely different. Now it's awesome, but, you know.
We could do the rest of this with the British accent if you'd like.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's what happened. And usually I'd say, to the left, you know, get him, he's got a frag. Terrible. But I would convince people. That was the first thing. But then kind of around the same time, I did like weird impressions. One of them was Christopher Walken before Walken was, you know, before everybody was doing an impression of him. But I was like 11 or 12 at the time.
And you know we're going to ask to hear that.
Well, hang on. So, who watched Courage the Cowardly Dog? Okay, so Courage the Cowardly Dog, who remembers an episode with an alien, a metal, like a robot alien, who came down to where Courage lives? The story was he was a whittler. He whittled like little wooden things. But his alien like compatriots were like outcasting him because they wanted to like kill, and that was their goal or whatever. Does anybody remember this? And the robot sounded like Christopher Walken, but I didn't know that at the time. It was this guy, and his Christopher Walken was kind of right here, and his whole thing was, I just like to whittle a little. And when I heard that, I was obsessed with it. I didn't even know who Christopher Walken was, and I didn't know that was an impression of Christopher Walken. So I started doing that, and then like a couple of years down the line, I found out that, that's just Christopher Walken. But Christopher Walken, my Christopher Walken is sort of lower. And wow, it's here. Oh, please, everybody does a Christopher Walken. This is
Not me. I don't do.
Thank you.
Wow, that's all I got.
Here's the secret to Christopher Walken. Okay, you take one-syllable words and you turn them into two-syllable words. So you take a word like no, and you say no, and that's Christopher Walken.
We're learning a lot here. I know. Look, you got an applause for your Christopher Walken impression.
Good.
This is great. I feel like I'm like actually doing this panel with multiple people.
Oh, good. I'm
this
glad.
is fun.
I'm glad you think so.
This is fun. Okay, so I was also wondering, obviously, if you would keep the same ability. Okay, if you could have any super power or superhero ability, what would you choose? You can't pick Superman. No, you can pick Superman.
If I could have any superpower, it would be.
Well, I mean, this is why I just leave it open. You know.
No, I don't know. I always wanted to fly when I was younger. I always would choose my superpowers based off of the X-Men's superpowers. So the most powerful one was Phoenix.
She is pretty powerful.
I wanted all her powers. That was it. She could do like everything.
She definitely can.
Yeah, I thought she was super cool.
All right, so you're a Phoenix fan?
Nightcrawler too.
Oh yeah.
Nightcrawler was awesome, and so is Gambit.
And I think they're making a Gambit movie. Are they still doing this?
Yeah.
Is it like Channing Tatum, or am I totally wrong here?
Yeah.
Sounds right. So Magic Mike is okay. That's cool. That's fine.
Channing Tatum is an interesting choice for the character.
Isn't he?
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen Thomas Middleditch's parody of Gambit? Thomas Middleditch plays. Who watches Silicon Valley? Okay.
This guy's seen everything
I'm gonna talk
that you
to
mentioned.
No, he plays the main guy on Silicon Valley, but he does a great parody. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Awesome. Okay, so you'd mentioned that before you got the role, that you went and just binge watched the show before you got the part. Is there any other shows that you've binge watched recently? Netflix has a lot of really good things going on.
I just
now.
finished a show called The Night of.
Was that on HBO?
Again.
Dude, this guy.
It's awesome. No, it's awesome. I love it. I love it that you know all of this. It's a great show. I didn't know that it was a miniseries until the last episode. So I was very disappointed.
So it ended, yeah.
Actually, someone earlier that day, I was like, yeah, I binged like 7 episodes and I'm on the last one of the season. And he's like, you mean the last one of the series? And I was like, nah, man, it's the last one of the season. They're making a season 2, obviously. It's doing so well. He's like, dude, it's a miniseries.
That's it. It's over.
I was duped.
That is so sad.
And felt
wow.
terrible.
Well, do you guys have any more questions? We still have a microphone. Clearly, like, he's open to answer anything. No one's asked a food question yet.
Also, Stranger Things. Sorry.
Yes.
Stranger Things.
Oh my gosh, that is like
awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Awesome. Picked up for season 2.
Yay.
I'm excited.
And they're getting an extra episode, so that'll be cool too. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I want to like hang out with those kids.
How good are those kids as actors? Those kids, I marvel. I watch them, and they're just like master classes in acting, and
they're like 6 years old. Well, they're like 11, but still.
Yeah, it's crazy.
11. All right.
I want your thoughts on this conspiracy theory I heard the other day.
Okay, I'm saying right now I can neither confirm nor deny whatever you're about to say.
Is this about his shows or about America?
It's about the shows.
Oh, okay. I was hoping for some like. Okay.
No, don't worry.
Donald Trump, is his hair real? I don't know.
Take a vote.
I was gonna say, is Hillary Clinton a real criminal, but.
Oh, okay. But your question is.
But my real question is, I heard an online conspiracy theory that Saitama, is actually the grown-up version of Caillou from the Caillou TV series back in the day. I want your thoughts on it, please.
Well, someone seems to have a very strong opinion about that.
Have you
already.
heard this before?
Who I don't know. Caillou, you said?
Caillou from the Sprout TV series.
Oh my God. Hey man, whatever floats your boat is what I'm saying. Sure, that sounds good. I don't know. Let's take a vote. Who thinks that Caillou is the One Punch Man?
3.
1, 2, 3. It was
3.5. All right, cool, great.
Yeah, I can't.
You haven't heard of that theory
No,
before?
no.
Any other theories we can throw out there? Come on, let's make some stuff up. What you got?
I don't really have any other theories I could think of.
I don't know. It could.
That was the only one that was popping in my head the other day.
They're both cartoons.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Anything's possible. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Theory number 2.
You've opened this can of worms,
Yes.
man.
Okay, so there's currently another show going on that's by the same creator called Mob Psycho 100.
Yeah.
And people have theorized that Saitama got together with one of our, either Fubuki or her sister, and well, things happened, and they ended up having a little child on the side, and people have said that basically Mob is their child. So
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think about it?
If I just said yes to all of these, do you think the internet would go insane?
This is gonna go viral.
Yes.
This will go viral. Just please.
Just confirm it right on the spot.
Confirmed. Internet.
I really don't know what to say. I don't have an answer.
Confirmed. Next.
Confirmed.
Okay.
No, I'm
Yes.
just kidding.
No, I wish I had a more interesting answer to that. I ship it.
Oh, wait. Which sister do you ship?
Both.
Okay.
That's fair.
It's that kind of panel. That's cool.
That is fair. I mean, the next question I have is, like, speaking of, like, season 2s, I know it's really difficult for Madhouse, the company that produces, this particular anime and any other anime. They tend to not do season 2s of anything. And I'm wondering, like, if there's going to be a season 2 of this, or would you, if there was a season 2, would you obviously be, like, jumping on that train as well?
Oh, I hope so. I hope it would, but I mean, it wouldn't be here until it wouldn't come out until at least 2017 in Japan, and then usually it takes a while for it to come over here and be dubbed into English. But yeah, if there's a season 2, I'm all on board.
So confirmed then.
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
Another
Confirmed.
Awesome. All right, and now my last question. Okay, I know, like, what's your current favorite line that you've said thus far? Like, my favorite line that I've heard you say is in the episode where Genos you're in the middle of the Hero Association, and you're getting ready to sign up for the Hero Association. You guys have signed up. Genos is the popular one. He's describing all his things that they say about him. He's handsome. He doesn't do interviews. He's amazing. And you're like, holy crap! You actually had the gut to say that out loud. And that was like my favorite line I heard you say.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
But what's your favorite line?
My favorite line. One of my favorite lines is when Saitama says, "Guess you." He's that line. I'm gonna get it wrong, but he's like, "Guess you could say she really bugged out." Ba-dumpsh. I had fun with that one. I had fun. I think we did one take, and I was like, "Can I do another?" The director, Chris, was like, "Nope."
So now you're one
Moving
take
on.
man. You're
And
one.
one take man. I'll take it. Why
Awesome.
not?
Way to go.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
So first off, to his theory about Caillou, no, because Caillou is bald, a grown child, and should have had hair, whereas Saitama, as we see his younger years, has hair.
Unconfirmed then, guys. Unconfirmed.
Wait a second. You don't know if he shaved that head.
Caillou has no hair. If that kid is shaving his head already, there's something much more deeper to that story that I don't want to know.
Valid point.
Like, yours children of his age or with hair. Anyway,
Yes,
that's not my
yes.
question. I just wanted to have my nerd moment there. My question is, if you, by some other means, did not get the role of Saitama, would there be any other character in the show you wanted to get?
Good question. Would there be any other character besides Saitama that I wanted to do? I auditioned for like all the main guys for Genos and Moomin Rider and I can't remember.
I feel like this is the guy that already
Speak-
has all of our answers, so I feel like he knows already.
Is it who? What?
No, I said he's already been answering all the questions before, so he should know.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Can you read my mind?
Oh wow, no, dude, no.
Make a guess. Make a guess.
Christopher Walken. No, he's not on the show, is he?
I kind of wanted to be Genos because I did Kaito. Oh no, that's not his name. Kaito Ishikawa. Am I getting that right? I don't know. The actor who plays Genos. Maybe Kaito Ishikawa is the guy who plays Saitama. Wow, guys, this is embarrassing.
We have to go. Okay.
I'm totally blanking. But anyway, I did a game called Star Ocean 5, The Last Star Ocean, where I played the main character, Fidel, which was played by the same actor who plays Genos. And so I thought that would be cool if I kept it consistent, like got those roles. But it didn't work out for me, guys.
Clearly.
I had to play the One Punch Man.
Were there any of Genos' lines that you would have wanted? Is there any, like, what are one of your favorite lines for Genos, would you say?
One of his favorite lines? Yes. I really wanted to do the scene where he talks really, really fast. I really wanted to do that scene. I do a lot of commercials, like I do a lot of legal stuff sometimes. Not valid in all 50 states. All prices, blah, 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 you know, that sort of thing. I wanted to take on that challenge really badly. I almost asked the director if I could just try it, but I didn't because I would be wasting time. You can't do that. You got to be professional. That was a fun scene. But then I get to yell at Genos and be like, "Shut up!"
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thanks you. Thanks you.
Thanks you.
And thanks you.
Thanks you. We got about 10 minutes left, so.
Someone had mentioned a severe lack of food questions, so I heard my call to arms.
Thank
and
you.
Here I am.
Thank you. I've been waiting for you.
If you had to pick one fruit to make sentient and have an entire army of them as your minions, what fruit would that be?
Oh man.
Any fruit?
Any fruit.
As my minions. If I could choose any fruit
Any fruit.
and have one of them as a huge army of minions,
Yes.
it would be
Drum roll. Oh, they're doing it.
the dragon fruit.
That's a pretty good answer.
That's a pretty good fruit, right?
So good.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good fruit.
You
wouldn't think
of
Spikes, Spiky.
Yeah. I was trying to think of something that would help me get out of a jam if I needed it. If someone was attacking
I don't
me.
think you can make jam out of dragon fruit, though.
Have you ever tried?
I have not personally.
I feel like you can.
You probably
And now
can.
I want some.
I think you can make jam out of everything.
All right.
It's kind of like that quote from Meet the Parents.
Meet the Parents, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you just wanted him to say apples.
Kinda.
I feel like you're about to
Apples.
I feel like you're about to do like a Robert. Oh wait, what's his name? No, I'm not gonna
Robert De
remember.
Niro?
I feel like you're about to do a Robert De Niro impression.
I can't do a good.
Your face just went for it.
No, I can't do a good
Oh,
Robert
okay,
De Niro.
good enough.
I gotta look in the mirror and go. It doesn't work.
My question was, it's more of a feels kind of question. What do you think of all the fan artists and everyone who says that it's a really good idea for Saitama to stay like bald and stuff because it inspires people like cancer patients and stuff, and there's fan art for it. So what is your opinion on that?
I think that's amazing. I think that when an anime has that much of an impact, a positive impact, it's such an amazing thing, and I'm glad that there's people who have taken to that. Yeah, I think that's awesome. I thought you were gonna say something about the fan theories of shipping people.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's also cool too, and whatever. But no, the anything that provides like inspiration and I just think that's super awesome. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, about the Caillou thing.
Do you want to come up here and like?
No, okay. The whole synopsis about Caillou is Caillou's cancer, and that's why he goes on all these adventures, because his parents want to give him all the things that he doesn't have before he dies. That's the whole Caillou thing, so
Okay.
he's probably dead, and it's not him.
Oh wow!
This just got real
Wow.
sad.
Do you ruin everyone's panels or just mine?
He didn't drop that mic, and he probably should have. Listen, Hey. Ouch. All right.
Yeah.
I don't have any comments. I hope that your question is not that depressing.
No, it's not.
Can we like lift it back up, please? Dragon fruit. All right. Poof.
My name is Nick. Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to know, what do you think the actual source of Saitama's power is? Because obviously it's not the 100 push-ups and hundreds of...
Excuse me, but I believe you already know. Okay? It's 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats,
10
a
kilometer
10K run. But the most important part is no heat in the winter, no air in the summer. You got to eat a banana sometimes, and also 3 meals a day.
All right.
Every single day.
Every single. All right.
Yeah, man, that's it. If you don't like it, stop watching. Okay?
Yeah, what he said. I don't know.
No, JK.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Ricardo. I have one question.
Yes.
I just recently got into the series, and there was one scene that I had to get up from the couch and be like, wow. And it was when Sonic attacked Saitama on the street, and he tried to hit him with a sword, and he just bit it. Was there another scene in the series that you had like the same kind of effect on you, or?
How that scene had an effect on you, that
Yes.
you were like, what, it's amazing. I thought that was pretty cool. That was one of the lines that I was really excited to dub, and I did dub. There was a sound that he makes when he bites the sword, and I think I was just like, but the scene, as far as amazing scenes go, like the ones I already mentioned, like the Crab Lante one, and the brother, no. What else was? I love it every time Saitama turns into a badass. So anytime, because normally he's just like this, and he's like, "Hey, I'm Saitama." But then sometimes he's like giving advice to Genos or something, and he's like, "Genos, listen to me." And those are like my favorite scenes. And also when he's like, when he's beating people up. That dream sequence of him in the first episode was great, because that was like the ultimate Saitama. You know what I mean? Also, maybe I'm thinking of a different show. What was the? Hang on, guys. I gotta recalibrate. Isn't there a line where he's like, "You can't blah 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 in my town"? Isn't the meteor? I think it's the meteor. Yeah. Anyway, but it's like every time he turned into a really cool dude.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, man.
I have 2 questions.
Yes.
One, what are those?
I know that's a meme, guys. I know that's a meme, and I can't remember what it's from. Okay, explain. You have to explain now.
Yeah, I'm lost too.
It's a meme.
Oh, it's the dude, yes, with the shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he rolls around because he's pretending that he's dying, and then he. Is there a problem with my shoes?
My other question.
No, now you have to tell me what's wrong with my shoes.
Yeah, I feel like she's personally offended by your footwear.
No, I'm not. I mean, hey.
Do you like his shirt? Like, can we at least compliment him on
I
his
am
shirt?
so
These
embarrassed
jeans?
right now. Okay, what's
okay.
your second question?
I'm trying not to die of laughter right now. My other question is, are you going to continue doing voice acting in like animes and stuff?
Sure.
If you could voice act in any anime that's ongoing, which anime would you pick?
Well, Mob Psycho 100 hasn't been dubbed yet.
That works.
That's a fun one. I always wanted to be part of my favorite. I think some of my favorite shows are the ones that have a grittier feel to them. I did a show called Gundam Thunderbolt. And it's one of the grittier Gundams. It's kind of more cinematic, a little darker. That stuff is really, that's something I really enjoy. So, anything that's got like a darker tone to it. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, Well, this has been really fun. This
We're not
went,
done yet,
really
are
well.
we?
We're never done. Well, I mean, we have a couple more minutes. If there's anything you want to plug, anything you think we need to know.
There's nothing I want to plug, but I just figured since we have a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to learn how to beatbox?
Yes, I can kind of beatbox.
Okay. So beatboxing is really simple. There's 3 main sounds you need. One is a bass kick, which is... That's really loud. Which is just... Everybody try that.
It's a P.
It's like forcing air. It's like a B, but it's like forcing the air out, right? The other sound is a hi-hat. You can make it closed or open. And the other sound is a snare, which is kind of difficult. It's like a forced bass kick with an F after it. Or you can do, which is kind of a rim shot. Open or closed.
It sounds like Donald Duck, kind of.
So together, it's... It's that kind of stuff.
That's really good. Mine's not as good. I can
Okay,
kinda
now
do
you.
it. Okay, ready? That's all I got. I mean,
that
mine
was
sounds
great.
good. Okay, now everybody. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. See, there's actually a
Yeah.
rave happening later, and I think we can just cancel the DJ, and,
cool.
and you're hired. So, do you like freestyle rap at all?
No.
No. Okay, so you're just the beat. You know, I
Just the
wanted to
beatbox.
check because,
I'll
like,
beatbox and somebody else
can
freestyle
anyone
rap.
hear freestyle rap? Because I certainly can't, and we don't want to see that. I feel
No.
like these two are talking, like maybe. Okay, no,
No?
that's fine.
No? Come
That's
on, guys.
fine.
No? There's also like covers of things. You can do like Snoop Dogg's Drop It Like It's Hot, which is like...
That's like... I'm really at a loss for words, but right now I'm like, I don't even know what
That's
to
how
say.
I like to end every panel. Thanks, guys, for coming.
Oh my God. Like, I feel like there's no better way to end it than with that. So what do you
Cool.
say?
All right. Well, thanks, everybody.
You
This is
guys
fun.
have been amazing. You've been amazing. One more time for Max, everybody. Max Mittleman,